Hello, dear viewers, and welcome back to This Week in Canada. Long time no see. My name is Roberto Wakrell Cruz. Thank you so much for joining me. Sorry about the hiatus there that I didn't announce in any way, shape, or form. I just kind of needed a break a little bit. Everything got really depressing there during the winter, eh? But man, things are worse now. I feel like I'm rejoining you. It's kind of like when you see like a cousin you like at a funeral. You're like, oh man, I wish we could we could party it up, but Aunt Brenda is dead, so we can't party. You could still party. She won't know. She's dead. Anyhow, thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful Fête Nationale in Quebec. The rest of the country just knows it as the week before Canada Day, if that's still a thing. I don't know. Do we celebrate Canada Day again this year, or are we still really upset about that thing that might have happened? Definitely happened, but like what, with the bones. Anyway, let's get right into it because we got a lot of news to cover. It's been an eventful week. I'm a little rusty, so forgive me, and I'm doing the camera myself, so if it's a little out of focus, there's nothing we can do. You can't fix that in post. But let's jump into the big story. Should be a bigger story. Should be an international story, I think, because it kind of speaks to the level of corruption and deceit and the amount of Machiavellian kind of 4D chess that the Trudeau government's playing or tries to play. So we're going to jump to a story from the Halifax Examiner. What a fine paper and what a big scoop from the Halifax Examiner. As we've seen in a report, a bombshell report, there are allegations against the Trudeau government and specifically the office of then Public Safety Minister Bill Blair, who we all know, former Toronto Police Chief, idiot, mumbly, kind of weirdo, old. I don't know what he's doing now. So, and by the way, it's okay if you're old, but if I'm saying it to Bill Blair, it's an insult. Old guys rock. I'm going to be old, I hope, one day. Anyway, so they reached out to the Halifax, the RCMP, following what was the worst shooting in Canadian history, as we all know. Terrible story. A guy, Gabriel Wortman, terrible, killed 22 people in a 2-day-long rampage where they killed, including an RCMP officer. Terrible, terrible stuff. The story goes that Bill Blair's office went to Brenda Lucki and said, hey, you know what? That's a terrible thing that just happened in Nova Scotia. We actually need that. We want to gain the public's trust and gain the public's acceptance of a coming bill, gun control legislation. So if you could actually just reveal what guns were used, then maybe we can win over the public to pass this gun control legislation. Just do us a favor. It's a little promise. And what does Brenda Lucki say? The very trustworthy commissioner of the RCMP? Yeah, that sounds good. No problem. Like, why would that be an issue? Yeah, of course we're going to do that. That's sweet. I have no morals. Okay, cool. Yeah, sweet. That was way easier than I thought. All right, so that's the story. That's the allegation as of now. There's been no further investigation into this. And what proof do we have of this? Well, we have handwritten notes by, I believe his name is Darren Campbell. He's a constable, a senior constable, I believe, at the RCMP, and he was called into a meeting because he held a press conference after the Nova Scotia shooting where media asked him, they said, hey, Darren, what guns were used in this shooting? And he said, can't tell you that. That's going to mess up an investigation because these guns were from the U.S., right? And so far, we do actually know where the guns came from. It's these two guys. One was bought in a gun show in Maine, and the other one I can't quite remember. But we know where the guns came from. No charges have been laid as of yet. But you don't want to release that to the public in case you're a guy in the U.S. and you go, damn it, I knew I shouldn't have sold those guns to Gabe. That guy's weird, and now he's killed 22 people. Darn it, I got to flee the country. So you don't want to release information like that, okay? It could be jeopardizing to an investigation. Well, they didn't release the information, and Brenda Lucki, boy, was she pissed. According to handwritten notes by Mr. Darren Campbell, Brenda was verbally abusing people and said, no, guys, you guys are so stupid. This is good. We promised the Trudeau government that we're going to release the details of the gun. So why didn't you release the details of the gun? You see, sorry, I was just checking if I was recording. You see, that's the type of backroom deals that these guys are making. And then they said, no, we can't release that. Obviously, it would put the investigation in jeopardy. And then Brenda Lucki has the nerve to say, you guys, it's going to make us, the RCMP, safer and the public safer if we just release the name of the guns that were used. That's pretty shifty stuff. That's pretty scary. I was genuinely disturbed by these allegations. Obviously, they're just allegations at this point, but I think they're true. I'm not going to put money on it. I'm not a gambling man, but there is certainly reason to believe that the Justin Trudeau government would do something like this. As the old expression goes, and I think it's attributed maybe to Churchill or Orwell or somebody like that, one of the Abraham Lincoln, whatever. Never let a good crisis go to waste. And that's what the Trudeau government, I believe, is doing in this situation. It's a good thing there hasn't been any other kind of crises in the past 2 years that the Trudeau government could take advantage of. That would be a really bad position to let them call the shots during a crisis, perhaps a pandemic or something. They certainly would not take advantage of any kind of political windows of opportunity, as Chrystia Freeland likes to call it. So what is everybody saying about it? Well, of course, Bill Blair says, no, didn't do it. Not me. I would never do that. That's weird that you'd even say that. Bill Blair is saying, don't even bother with it. Justin Trudeau today from Rwanda. What the hell are you doing in Rwanda? So maybe I need to brush up on who's in the Commonwealth. Didn't know Rwanda was in the Commonwealth. I thought it was the Dutch in Rwanda. The whole Rwandan genocide, Hotel Rwanda, Don Cheadle, Romeo Dallaire. I thought that was the Dutch, the Hutus, the Tutsis. I guess Rwanda is in the Commonwealth. I didn't know that. Canada's in the Commonwealth, of course. They're having a meeting of the Commonwealth, whatever that means, as if you really have to go to that. What does the Commonwealth do? Anything? I like the Queen on the money, whatever. Whatever. So Justin Trudeau goes out and today says, no, I have full confidence in Brenda Lucki. She would never do something like that. Me and Brenda go way back. It's totally cool. What are the other parties saying? This is very interesting, of course, because we are propped up by a liberal NDP coalition, pseudo coalition, really. Kind of another kind of backroom deal that the NDP kind of sold out their party to keep the Trudeau government afloat until, 2025? Gee, I'm going to be like 39. Not 39 at that point. Candice Bergen comes out and says, the interim leader of the Conservative Party, she comes out and says, I believe him. I believe that guy. He's a police officer. There's no what reason would he have to lie? This is going to ruin his career, right? And it would to just make up lies like this. Jagmeet Singh, old Jagmeet, comes out and says, yeah, we need to see all the evidence. I don't really know if we can really believe it. Yeah, it's just allegations, which, okay, that's fair enough. But don't they have a track record of kind of doing shit like this? I mean, if you look in the past few years, we can think of a very direct parallel where the PMO, or perhaps the Office of the Public Safety Minister, is going to put pressure on perhaps a little Native American woman that's the Attorney General, Jody Wilson-Raybould. Good for her. Glad that she got that out of the way. That was a big deal. So we've seen that they're prone to doing these kind of scandals, okay? And this isn't the first one. The We Charity one, also pretty bad. That one less to do with pressure. It's not exactly the same type of parallel, but you get the picture. Don't really know what else I have to add on that one. Besides, let's just wait and see how it plays out, because this is going to be very interesting. I already have a feeling nothing's going to happen. We've seen We Charity, that wasn't even an ethics violation. How? I don't know, but it wasn't. The Aga Khan one was a scandal. And the SNC Lavalin, yeah, that was ethics violation. So we'll see. I have a feeling this is going to get swept under the rug. You won't hear about it in 2 weeks. Nothing's going to happen. Justin Trudeau is going to be in power till 2025, and then Xavier Trudeau is going to take over when he dies. It's going to be a mess. We're going to be a nation led by Trudeaus. What a horrible life we live. All right, that was the transition. Travel mandates are gone. That took a while. I don't know how many of my brethren out there are still holding out strong. My purebloods, my purebloods in the audience. I nearly got it. I actually didn't. Still waiting out on it. But thankfully, I can now see my family in Windsor by taking a plane. Wow, that took a while. So I think that was launched in October of last year. And on June 20th, the Trudeau government finally said, you know what? Yeah, it doesn't make sense. The science has changed. It didn't matter for a long time that no other country or jurisdiction was doing anything kind of remotely close to making sure that unvaccinated people couldn't get on planes in their own country or couldn't leave the country. What a mess. By the way, this is something I want to talk about real quick. I hope you don't need a passport. Woo-hoo! Because if you need a passport, man, we can roll a video. We can put it here. Look at all those, not losers. This is not their fault. Look at all those people in line camping outside of a passport office. I'm really regretting not getting a 10-year passport now because mine is due up in like a year or two. And that's going to be a mess. Obviously, the Trudeau government there is saying, oh, we're getting so many passport applications. Not true. You're actually getting less than you did prior to the pandemic per week. Oh, we have staffing shortages. Not true again. You're lying. So what's going on? And I also don't understand, and this is going to show my ignorance here. Like, if you don't have enough passports, like, why can't you just, like, make them? I know passports are supposed to be super high security. You need to, like, there's like a maple leaf that reflects, and then you can see the face of, like, John A. McDonald or something. Some kind of security thing, and then they glow under blue light. If you give me $100 and like a week, I could probably make a passport that looks pretty convincing. I don't think I understand that. Oh, it has to be official and all that, but can't you just make more passports? Is that so weird? I don't understand what the delay is all about. But anyway, all these people, after 2 years of not being able to travel, they're like, oh, dang it. Okay, I got to get my passport. This is surely not going to be a huge disaster that costs me days of my life. Well, yeah, actually it is. And unfortunately, that's what's happening. Omar Al-Gabra, by the way, the transport minister, is the happiest guy in the world that he no longer has to defend these stupid mandates because they never made sense. The last few interviews he was doing, he looked like a big dumbass because he couldn't defend the regulations that were in place for forever. So thank God for that. If anybody out there is still unvaccinated and you're finally going to get on a plane to see your family, congratulations. I'm very happy for you. I think we have to do another transition because it looks like the battery, the memory card is full. So let's do another transition. So I'm not going to be able to cover all the news that I want to do. Obviously, I took like a 6-month hiatus. Can't really do that. Poilievre's in the news. He's running for the Conservative Party, probably going to win. John Charest is a big loser. Patrick Brown, also a big loser. I don't know if who's voting for those guys. I guess if you want to be a moderate and appeal to the larger Canadian populace. I don't know. Poilievre's got it in the bag. It seems like he's popular within the party. And Patrick Brown is a weirdo, kind of like, I don't know, I just don't trust him. And John Charest, he, what has he done? He was the leader of the Quebec Liberals, seems like a big liberal. He's he is charismatic. I watched the debates and he seemed like he has a good head on his shoulders, but is that the guy? I mean, we already tried the Erin O'Toole approach of just, why don't we just offer a super liberal guy that's just the exact same as Justin Trudeau? Didn't work. We lost 2 seats in that election. So I don't think it's really smart to keep making the same mistakes. Obviously, you see polls that says NDP and Liberal voters would prefer Charest. I think that's all you need to hear to say that I'm not going to vote for that guy. Pierre Poilievre, pretty solid. What else is in the news? The Emergencies Act. Yeah, apparently police didn't ask for that. That was the whole thing, right? Mr. Marco Mendicino, our public safety minister now. I keep saying that. Public safety minister Marco Mendicino says, oh, yeah, no, we're invoking the Emergency Act. The police are asking for it. They're literally asking for it. They want it so bad. Okay, let's go ask the police. Hello, Peter Slowly, the former Ottawa police captain. Did you ask for the Emergencies Act? No. Okay, that's a bad start. I wonder who did. Let's ask the new guy, the interim guy, Chris something. Did you ask for the Emergencies Act in Ottawa? Can't say I did. Son of a gun. Well, I'm sure surely the RCMP did. Let's ask Brenda Lucky, who we are all familiar with from the first part of the show. Brenda, did you ask for the Emergencies Act? Tough luck. I gotta say I didn't. Oh, son of a gun. So what was Marco Mendicino talking about that whole time? Turns out he was lying. He was lying to the public, and there's going to be, again, nothing's going to happen. These liberals, they're all made of Teflon or something, or the media just doesn't talk about it that much. Obviously, there's been calls for Mendicino's resignation, but after one scandal comes another, and we all forget, and the cycle begins again. So Pierre Poilievre and I think everyone in the Conservative Party is basically calling for his resignation. There's going to be no answers into it. There's probably going to be some kind of committee, but obviously committees are based on how many seats are in the party, are in the House, and the Liberals have the most seats, and then the NDP. So you can imagine that's just going to all be swept under the rug. You're never going to hear about it again. Anything else in the news? I think that's about it. I'm basically Quebec. Yeah, I still live in Quebec. There was a language law here. I know most of you guys probably don't care too much about what's going on to Quebec. I'm technically, I guess, an Anglophone. My French isn't good enough to get a real job here in French. But I do want to on an interesting note. All my friends are kind of in the same realm. They're a lot of them are Anglophone from Ontario, Quebec people. They've lived here for a long time, and rents have been going up in Quebec for a while. Surely, I mean, it's probably 50 or 60% increase seriously, it's I would imagine since I moved here 6 years ago. And everyone's saying, oh, you got to do something. Oh, we got to make sure that this doesn't happen. People are losing people are getting rent evicted. People are, rents are going up. This is unsustainable. It is. But then Bill 96 comes along, and it's like an anti-English speaking bill. And that's what they say. And everyone's like, you can't do that. There's the rent control, dummy. That's the rent control that you've been asking for this whole time. You're going to kick out Anglophones? Oh my God, that's going to bring down rents by like tenfold. So you know what? Bring it on. The stricter it gets with French, the better my French gets. And the lower that rent stays. So I know that's very selfish, very ignorant. Tomorrow is Saint Jean Baptiste, of course. I've got I don't know if you can see that, my tattoo on my chest already. I'm ready to party it up. I'm ready to barbecue with my cab homies. I hope you have a very nice week. I'll see you next week. This is going to be a regular thing again. I missed you so much. Sorry for packing so much information into a 20-minute episode, but I really had to cover all my bases. Take care. We'll see you next week. God bless ye, and God bless Canada. And vote Justin Trudeau out.